And right after I just heard a lot of boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I get up, look out the blind, I see a bunch of police or whatever, agents coming running around the building with shields and guns. I'm like, man, I wonder what my brother done now. I'm thinking this, because I only go to jail for murder. I've only been in jail for like 3, 4. I've been indicted for 5, not indicted. I've been charged for 5 murders.
Got you.
Yeah.
So man, so you in jail, cash
Mhm.
money blowing up.
Yeah.
Man. So first I want to ask you this. So ultimately, how did you get caught? And what did you get caught for?
Okay. It was this dude, right? It's 2 people, right? But I just stopped wrecking my brain because I get mad because I be like, I don't live a street life no more, right? But it's like, if I was to relapse or come out of retirement, it's like 20 people I want to delete. Because you know, you be thinking like, okay, I remember he had a gun for me. I remember I gave him some dope. I remember he did this. So I go to think of that stuff, right? But to answer your question, it was this guy, he used to come in a project and he would try to buy like a gram. Like back in the days, a gram, 1.0 was $100, no, $200. Half a gram, 0.5 was $100. He would always come, man, I want to buy a gram or two. So I would be out of town. I used to just go to Houston and get on a Greyhound bus and just travel, right? So one day I was like, I said, man, call me back at 3. He called me back. I said, call me back at 5. He called me back. I say, come on my house late on night. So I say, man, you act like you work with the people. Every time I take you to call and come, you right on time. And he laughed it off, or while he was white. So he would beat me. He would page me. I called him back. Then one time I was like, man, look, Blab out there. Holla at Blab. Nah, man, I want to deal with you. So I finally sold this man maybe 3 grams. This round 97, October 97, the feds got on me. But it wouldn't be till February of 98 till they finally got a authority to tap my phone. And man, to this day, I be thanking God for that, because between the October, November, and December run, that's when all the murders was happening. It was cutting up. I'm on the phone just talking records. Because all right, my homie Killer Stone, when he went to the feds in 94, when he come home, he was like, man, be careful talking on these phones. You know, you can get 10 years. I'm like, man, people can't give me no time for talking. So they finally tapped my phone, right? And there was this guy from New York who had heroin. They left it with Bryce. So Bryce would give me the heroin. I'm in the project, we grinding to know you. One day we was out, I told Bryce, man, what the people? I said, look, man, we about to fly out there to New York, tell them people we coming. I didn't get invited or none of that. I just said, I'm going out there. So me and Blabber, we had to catch 2 flights because we did it at the last one. We flew from New Orleans to St. Louis. I think from St. Louis to New York, to Howard Johnson. We got out, we went to the hotel over there, we got in the cab and went to Brooklyn. Brooklyn or the Bronx, one of them, but I know we in the back of this restaurant. And it's 3 Latinos. 2 of them dark skin, 1 light skin. The head one was the dark skin one. So he said, okay, it was soft. It was the powder. I was like, man, we want it hard. So they're like, all right, y'all, you know how y'all say pause. So he let my co-defendant test it. So my co-defendant over here by the fryer, he ducked out. And we over here discussing the prices. I know in New York it was cheap back then. But he trying to tax me. I'm like, man, come on, man. That dope. He was like, look, me tell you, it's good. So Blab would come out the duck. It's all right. I said, yeah, it's good. Because Blab used to hate on everybody dope.
Yeah.
So, but we back here fussing in the back of this restaurant. The crazy part about it is I don't have a stick pin on me. I'm in somebody else's city trying to match the end. I'm like, man, you better pipe down, boy. You might get left in this kitchen. So we talking, we come to agreement, we go back up front. So they separate us. Me and the head man sit at the table, Blab over here. So he said, me like, you know, did I want something to drink? I said, no, I don't drink. So he said, me like you. With him, no trust. So I was like, okay, but this is my brother you talking about. This is somebody who in the mud with me, I know gonna bust a gun for me, right? So right then and there, my mind was like, whenever I get a chance, I'm gonna rob him. We get the dope, we ordered him $1,000. So we get on the Greyhound bus, go back to New Orleans. The guy he had me to meet, I said, man, he be having all the, because he be sending him like a brick at a time for heroin. I told I Bright man, what's up, old boy? He said, yeah, he in the mail, we standing there. I said, man, I'm gonna rob him. So my phone tapped, and the plug called us and said, man, what's up? Y'all don't want to mess with us? I was like, man, last time we had the dope, bro, it wasn't that good, but what was up? So I'm trying to get them to mail it to us, and we're gonna pay you. You know, we got you. It's like, so we worked up a deal where they wanted for 6 ounces 22,000. He said, why you mean 11,000, and then you get other 11,000 to the guy. I'm like, man, I ain't about to wire no 11,000. I'm trying to jack you. So I ain't tell him this, but I'm saying, I'm like, all right. So they were so thirsty for the sale to where they drove down to New Orleans, but they mailed the dope down, right? So I don't know this at the time. So I tell Bryce, my coach, I say, hey, man, them people coming down, and he's like, yeah, they driving down. I said, look, bro, when they get here, man, we're gonna kill them. I said, we're gonna get them by your house, because he had a little house where he used to hold his pit bulls at this house, actually. I said, look, we're gonna bring them over to the house there, we're gonna kill them. He said, man, we ain't kill them out, they got neighbors and all. I said, man, listen, we're gonna tie them up and do them later. The feds hear me talking about this, so the people came to the Winn-Dixie across the street from my house, and I saw a lot of police cars, but I ain't really think none of it. I didn't know there were the people who y'all they had arrested them, because whenever you under investigation and the feds listen to you, they gonna let you go. Selling drugs, to build it up. But the minute you go to talk about violence, they got to terminate the investigation, because at one time he said let you go through everything, killing all that, but now they held accountable for that, because you listening and you knowing they about to delete one of my people and you let them do it. So when I was talking about doing them, the people arrested them. Now, mind you, I didn't know that they were arrested. So the next day I go around by the shop. I'm like, man, what's up? He's like, man, you know they arrested them last night. But I'm thinking, I'm not thinking my phone tapped for drugs. I said, well, what that dope at? He said, man, I said, man, we're gonna rob the mailman. So we waiting, trying to see where the mailman is. So we on the phone, plotting all this stuff up. The morning, that morning, how I got, well, when the Fed ran down on me, because I would only go to 3 houses. The house in the project, one of my baby mothers had a house, we used to call it baby mansion out in Hollywood, and then my other house in the 13 ward where BG from. This night I'm tired, I don't want to go to none of these houses. I saw I'm in a project. And I asked my brother to go get me some cinnamon rolls from Tasty Donuts right there on St. Bernard, on Broad in Esplanade, right down from where John Mack used to be. So I had a Big Time t-shirt on, some polo jeans, and my Cash Money medallion and all that stuff. So I just sat on my mother's bed, laid back and dozed off. My brother come, give me the cinnamon roll. I remember waking up like 5 in that morning. I grabbed a cinnamon roll, bit off and threw it back in the bag. And right after I just heard a lot of boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I get up, look out the blind. I see a bunch of police or whatever, agents coming running around the building with shields and guns. I'm like, man, I wonder what my brother done now. I'm thinking this, because I only go to jail for murder. I've only been in jail for like 3, 4. I've been indicted for 5, not indicted. I've been charged for 5 murders. But I in one attempt murder, I pled guilty to that, to aggravated battery. And back in '92, when I broke out of juvenile jail, I got caught with a gun. But other than that, I've never been in jail, for I'm thinking this is. So I'm thinking that my brother didn't got in trouble, because I knew he was hustling, still grinding. So my brother Chris. So I'm like, boy, I wonder what Chris done. So my mother get up, where? The FBI. Terrance here? My mama said, yeah, he in the room. I be telling my mom, I said, Mommy told on me, right? And I did that, I always drive about that, right? So I come out, tell me to turn around my hands. I say, get on your knees, put your hand by your, lock your hands like that. And they tell me to walk back on my knees, come back. So I did what they say. By the time I got to the door, they grabbed me. We got Gangsta, we got Gangsta. So they was excited. I'm like, but I still don't know what's going on. I still don't know that my phone was tapped and they got me with this conspiracy stuff. So they get me out, had me on the porch, and the man come to me and said, you got any guns in the house? I said, man, you gotta do your job. Like I said, I don't know nothing about the feds. I'm still thinking like the state. So my homegirls out early in the morning. Oh, they got the land. Oh, they got the land. I said, don't worry, girl. Yeah, well, they bring me to custody. I'm gonna be out in a minute. Like, I don't know how this federal stuff worked. This is March 6, 1990. I told my homegirl I'm gonna be out in a minute, and I ain't seen it. Some of them I still haven't seen. Some of them passed away since I've been incarcerated. But uh, January 3rd, 2022, I finally got out.
Yeah, because you were sentenced to a life sentence plus 20.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me show you how I get to life. So I played. All right. They initially charged me with conspiracy to 6 ounces of heroin. Come back with the superseding indictment, hit me with an 848 continuing criminal enterprise, a kingpin charge. I used to think that I was the youngest one charged with that, but then I found out it's a guy out of DC named Tone. He was the youngest one to charge with. He was 19. So that's a kingpin. That's like what Big Meech or Rick Ross, from the Cali, Freeway Rick, they charged with that kind of stuff. So I think the charge that's so in my mind, I'm like, okay, that 20 to life. I could take the 20 years, and be home, whatever, with the roots. All right, cool. They gave me solicitation to commit murder. I'm like, what the world? By me telling my co-defendant, we're going to get him to your house and kill him. That's why they gave me solicitation, because had he said, okay, cool, they'd have gave me conspiracy to commit murder. So I got the solicitation, so they gave me that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the 20. I'm young. I get out, my late 30s. Let's run it. Because baby, them, they got me. They taking care of me. I'm cool. Man, while I'm waiting, one of my co-defendants was supposed to go get sentenced, and they pushed the date back. I was laughing. I said, man, what's going on? I called my lawyer. They say they got you for trying to send another hit from jail. I said, man, come on, man. Y'all got me on the phone already trying to kill somebody. What make you think I'm gonna be in jail trying to do that? I know these jail phones is recorded. Come to find out, a dude named Robert Moody wore a wire on my co-defendant in the jail, and my co-defendant, they talking. So they charged me. I got a life sentence for 2 murders that I was never indicted, never charged for. They just say, by the preponderance of the evidence, we feel like you had something to do with that. So life. Okay, they hit us with relevant conduct. Relevant conduct means if we say we all selling weed, and we front this phone like 10 pounds, and they don't pay us, and we catch them, and somebody put them down. So now when we get on the investigation for the weed, if somebody start cooperating and tell them about this body, so they're gonna say, okay, this relevant to this weed, because the weed we have on the investigation, they got rid of this person behind this weed. So this is relevant to this case. So they'll give you extra time called relevant conduct. But they have to prove that you took this person's life behind this weed. So they couldn't prove that these 2 people were deleted behind our heroin conspiracy. So my co-defendant case got overturned. When he went back to court, the judge gave him from 40 years to give him like 33 years. Took 80 months off, 400 months. Mind you, like I said, I've never been convicted for drugs or nothing. So I don't have a bad jacket. I only have that gun charge for 92 was a misdemeanor back then, and the aggravated battery by shooting in 94. Well, 93 actually. So my guidelines would have been 25 years. The most he could have given me. The judge, like, I understand I got a discretion to give you this, but I just couldn't justify giving you less time I gave you a soldier. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you life again. So he ran the 20 years with the life in March 02, March 6, 2002. He gave me life again, sent me on back to prison.
Gotcha. And so when did all of the additional murders get tied into this situation? Or were you never convicted and sentenced for those?